conceding one goal like we did is getting more difficult, and like we watch it, and then we reacted. More or less the players, they were as well trying the first half, the second half. We had chances to score. We didn't do. We dominate. We abort more or less their transition, and really we lost one match today because the first 20 minutes we weren't starting focus, rhythm, like the man we had on the pitch.
What can you say as well about Ouattara as a player? He was the record signing here. Sometimes that brings a little pressure, but he's scored on his debut.
Yeah, the goal is obviously amazing, and that will get the headlines. I think what underpins that for me is his character, his willingness to do a shift without the ball, which the vast majority, all the players had to do today. When they left the bench, they had to be digging in and understanding of the game that we were facing, the opposition we were facing, what was required. So I think Dango's amazing in his approach to the game, his approach to training, the detail that we wanted off him without the ball in particular today, real honesty, which I'm not surprised about. And I said it when he signed. I'm still saying it now, and I think I'll be saying it for some time to come. I think he'll be a big player for this club.
Well, it's only week 2 of the Premier League season, but it felt like a huge win for Keith Andrews and for Brentford this afternoon.
Yeah, and it was. It's a massive win against a big club, playing at home, your first game at home. Clean sheet, 1-0. Had to show a lot of character today. At times they rode their luck, you know, but they came against a not so good Villa. And look, end of the day, you take the 3 points and you move on. And from here you start building and get some confidence, and hopefully you can get some momentum at home. Because that is really important for Brentford, that they make sure that home is a place where they get those 3 points, week in, week out.
Yeah, and it's always been a tough place to go, hasn't it?
It is a tough place to go, but I think Villa's season, what they had last season, I don't think they've stepped up in respects of where they were, what they were doing, what they were achieving. They started this season, and you know, especially this game here, it was a very poor start from Villa. You know, there was missed chances. They weren't really connecting very well. And I think with Brentford, who I think will struggle this season, losing their manager, losing some really good players. You know, they've brought some players in and hopefully they can step up to the mark. But I think at home, they've got to take advantage of a team who come, like Villa, and play that badly at the start and don't let them get into it. I thought they should have had the second goal. I didn't think it was too much of a foul on the keeper. But at the same time, there's going to be more tougher games to come, but they're going to probably have to take advantage of teams that come start that badly.
You mentioned players that have come in. Dango Ouattara is a record signing, and he scored on his debut. Special feeling for any player, Jimmy?
Look, that is great for the manager. You know, when you identify a player and then he comes in and he does that. He's a little bit lucky here because he shouldn't be finishing with his right, but then it comes back. And he puts it in the back of the net with his left foot. Here, with his right foot, you're never going to score like that. He's lucky, it rebounds off and it comes in his path. And this is then a good finish. But the one before that against the goalkeeper wasn't. But take nothing away from that. End of the day, he scored 1-0. His team has won. He's done what he needed to do. You know, he's off the mark. And yeah, a very, very important win for Brentford today.
It was indeed.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I suppose the overriding emotion is pride. Spoke a little bit before the game about identity of our team and not to forget the individual within the team. And I felt we seen that in abundance today, a spirit, a connection amongst all players, staff, fans. That was the overriding feel I got from the afternoon, and ultimately produced a performance that was us.
And I know you expect the collective, but Dango Ouattara obviously scored the winner, but also for someone who's not been here long, he looked like he already knew what his role meant to be. There were times where he'd like drop back into a 5 to look after Dina, and was like he looked like he'd very quickly settled in and realised what his role was. I just wondered how impressed you were with not just his goal but also his how quickly he settled.
Yeah, spot on. I think his goal will get the headlines, but for me it was those aspects of the game that you just mentioned, the selfless nature of how he approached the game for the team, going back to what we're about, what was needed today to get a result. If he didn't stick to that task, it was going to prove to be very difficult to deal with them with the way that they play, which you've alluded to. And I thought he was amazing in the approach to that in the space of a few days. I knew I know he will be a big player for this club. His attributes are probably there for everybody to see, and I think you'll see more and more of that as we get more control of games and we're able to feed him a little bit more with the service that he craves. But the out of possession shift he did today was selfless. It was very, very impressive, and yeah, to take it on board so quickly is brilliant. But not too surprised, because he's right from the moment I spoke to him, presented to him about the opportunity to come here, just really impressed with him as an individual. Thank you.
Keith, you spoke about pride, about the win and the collective. I was just wondering for you, is there a bit of relief considering how last week went, and then to come here and to produce a performance like that? There's a lot of pressure, obviously it's a new job and everything else, so I was wondering if you felt like just a deep breath.
mate, that probably come. I haven't stopped since the final whistles went, but I'm a realist in terms of how I approach things. Didn't get too low last weekend after the game. Understood where we were at. Still disappointed, of course, but knew probably what was needed to put us in a better place to perform today. But what we prioritised aspects of training this week that would come out on the grass, and I think we achieved that. So again, tonight won't get too high. Enjoy it. Obviously, it's going to be a nicer feeling than last weekend for sure. But you're quickly on to the next one. I think that's the nature of it.
Can I just ask about the change to your attack today? Because obviously you brought back Mikkel Damsgaard, you had Kevin Schade as well. Obviously we talked about Dango too, but is that a good feel from your front line? Is that the kind of threats you want to see, and with Igor in the centre of it as well?
Yeah, I think what I want is different options and different skill sets, attributes to cause the opposition problems. Ultimately, that's what attacking players should look to do when you have the ball. Pace is something that I want in the team. It's been prevalent in this football club for numerous years, how you can attack, and I think in the modern game you absolutely need that pace, but it's got to be fed. You've got to service it. So it was nice to have those players available. We've got some really, really impressive attacking players in our squad.
And can I just ask about Ian Wright? Of course, he wasn't in the squad today. What was the thinking behind that, and where is he at the moment?
Felt it was right for the group. Needed a group today that was absolutely committed to performing, to show what we're about, I suppose. Going back to that word identity, what this football club is and how it's been built and what it should feel like on a football pitch. So I felt that was the right decision to not include Jan today. Thanks, Paul.
Can I ask you about Jordan Henderson? He obviously on the bench last week, starts today. Do you feel he made a big difference to the team performance?
Yeah, Jordan's been growing, obviously building minutes as pre-season's gone on. It was slightly disrupted and we wasn't ready to start last weekend, in all honesty. This week, was he? Probably, I was hoping. I thought he was brilliant. Yeah, I thought his presence on the pitch was very evident. His communication, and I'm sure you could hear him from where you were sat, and how he's barking orders, instructions, demands on players, and I think that's just in his DNA. So for a first start, home soil, it was really nice to have him involved today.
And when he left Liverpool, there was a feeling that his Premier League career was over. Do you see someone who's determined to prove a point?
I don't think you get to the level he's been at in his career without having that determination. Just inside you have that burning desire to achieve, I would suggest. So obviously in the England squad, I presume he'll be in the England squad. I know Thomas Tuchel's here today, so it doesn't surprise you, does it? He's very focused. He's all in terms of what he's been like behind the scenes, and I think he'll be a big player for us. Thank you.
I don't think he wanted to come off, did he?
we have to be careful. Obviously, I think some players are still getting to the level of intensity of trying to get 90 minutes plus. Might be more of an issue taking him off in weeks and months to come, understanding of his age, but equally he's still in great shape. He's in great nick. It's not his age. It's more just building the minutes that he missed a little bit of pre-season to get him to that point and keep him available. Obviously, so that's just been the challenge at the moment. But no, you're probably right. He won't want to come off.
I know it wasn't decisive at the end of the VAR decision to disallow a second goal. What was your thoughts on that? And also the explanation. They said he was carelessly challenged, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I've said this in a couple of interviews already. I'm not sure what my ongoing stance is going to be on these questions. Disappointed, I suppose, for it not to be given. I thought they were clever at times in terms of fouls that they got today. I thought there was a real honesty about our players at times, that we don't just go to ground easily. And I don't want us to be that team. I want us to play with a real honesty and determination to play the game in the correct manner. But yeah, it was disappointing, obviously, and you're right, the terminology of it. I think the fact that I've been asked about it in every single interview would suggest it's been contentious.
Keith, as good as the performance was, especially defensively, is it that sort of spirit that you talked about, the commitment that probably pleased you most? Is that what that will be remembered for today, more than anything from you?
Yeah, I think so. The togetherness of the group, not just the players that started the game, the subs that came on, the subs that didn't come on, the players that didn't even make the squad, and all the staff around it, I think provided an environment today in the days leading up to it that gave us the best chance to perform. And then I just thought it was filled with exactly that: character, resilience, things that you need as a baseline to achieve results in this league. They're a top team, to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Outstanding individuals, very detailed orientated coach who's vastly experienced, and I thought our players delivered the out of possession game plan pretty impeccably, really.